Lisa only wanted to take a beautiful posthumous photo before she passed away. However, the owner of the photo studio said to her, "I can make you look 50 years younger." Lisa thought he was joking, but as the shutter clicked, her body underwent a transformation at that very moment. Seeing that she was about to miss the last bus, Lisa chased after it at breakneck speed. To her surprise, as soon as she sat down, a few young hooligans on the bus started hitting on her. At this point, Lisa was still unaware that she had become younger. Faced with the rude young men, she angrily scolded one of the hooligans. But soon, she saw her own face through the other person's sunglasses. Lisa turned her head in disbelief to look at the bus window, then pinched her face hard, realizing that this was not a dream. She immediately ran back to the photo studio, only to find that it had turned into a restaurant. The owner said that she had been running the restaurant for more than a decade, and there was no photo studio nearby at all. Worried that her transformation would frighten her family, Lisa had no choice but to spend the night at a bathhouse. When she woke up the next day, she was shocked to discover that the periarthritis that had plagued her for years had disappeared, and her whole body was full of vitality. As she was leaving, she saw an elderly person changing clothes nearby. In a daze, she couldn't help but recall her arduous life. 50 years ago, Lisa was pregnant at a young age, and her husband had to go out to earn money. However, the news that eventually reached her was that her husband had died in an accident. In order to raise her son, Lisa had to work multiple jobs every day. Despite this, her income was still insufficient to cover the family's expenses. At the poorest of times, she could only go to the vegetable market to pick up discarded rotten vegetable leaves to stave off hunger. After enduring countless hardships, she finally raised her son to become a university professor. Now she no longer had to worry about food and clothing, but she still lived a frugal life, unwilling to even buy herself a new pair of shoes. However, she never hesitated to give money to her grandson whenever he went out. Her daughter-in-law felt that she was spoiling her grandson too much, and the two often argued as a result. During one argument, her daughter-in-law suddenly had a heart attack and was rushed to the hospital. Fortunately, she was rescued in time and her life was saved. Unexpectedly, the first thing her daughter-in-law said when she woke up was to tell Lisa to get lost. These words deeply hurt Lisa's heart. That night, the family secretly discussed sending her to a nursing home. However, Lisa overheard everything. She was not angry, but quietly walked out of the house. Lisa came to the bus stop alone, thinking that she would spend the rest of her life in a nursing home. She decided to take a beautiful posthumous photo of herself in advance. Now that fate had given her a second chance, she decided that this time she would live for herself. Lisa went to a hair salon and got a beautiful hairstyle. Then she went to the bank to withdraw all her savings and bought all the clothes she had always liked but never dared to buy. Finally, she returned to the vegetable market and bought the pair of shoes she had always dreamed of. After living for more than 70 years, she finally realized at this moment that life could be so wonderful. Due to copyright restrictions, the story can only be told up to this point. If you want to know what happens next, you can watch the original movie, Miss Granny.